The symbolism of lakes, ponds and pools. In Eastern medicine, whether Indian or Chinese, there is the concept of a reservoir of energy. Thus, although one may receive energy, one may also store energy in these reservoirs or pools. The concept has its physical equivalent in the endocrine system, as well as major organs like the liver that stores glucose. Thus the idea is actually very sound. It is just that we are viewing it now at a spiritual level and not a physical level. The Dan Chen, for example, are loosely translated as elixir fields, seas of qi, or simply energy centers within traditional Chinese medicine. And they are used in a number of the spiritual practices within Qigong, Taoism and the martial arts. Filling up the lakes, ponds and pools. Symbolically, we are surrounded by an ocean or sea of energy. See our video, Ocean and Sea. This energy is also called Prana, and in Far Eastern thought, Ki. In our video of chakras and flowers, we explained how chakras were like the sockets plugged into this energy. In effect, we are surrounded by an ocean or sea of energy, prana or ki, which is taken in by the chakras to the island of our body. See video, aura and islands, where it is circulated using the meridians or nadis. Symbolically, rivers and streams. Video, rivers and streams, and may be stored in symbolic ponds and pools or lakes of our body. Emptying the ponds and the river estuaries. So, we have seen how energy may be sucked in, circulated and even stored, but how does it get flushed away? Well, some goes out via the root chakra, some via our crown chakra as thoughts. But all those rivers and streams also lead down our legs to our feet. And when a healer says you are well grounded, it means the excess energy or stale energy can escape via our feet and ankles. It is why going barefoot is often recommended, if you can. And the healing practice of reflexology is based on the idea that gifted healers can feel from the ends of the meridians on your feet and ankles where there might be a block, and by massage of the foot release all that stale energy which comes pouring out like the waste from an unblocked drain, if they are successful. Healing terminology. Healing is based on the idea that the body is an integrated system of waterways, channels, pools, outflows and inlets. And depletion or lack of spiritual input affects every part of the body. Thus a healer will not be a heart specialist. They will examine the state of the lake, that is the middle dantian and the heart, which is associated with storing life energy and with respiration and health of the internal organs. By doing so, they may notice that the dull, stagnant water in the middle dantian is caused by grief, and thus the grief must be helped before the energy will flow again. There is a direct correspondence between the lake that is the lower dantian and the reproductive system, which both produces and stores hormones such as progesterone, testosterone, estrogen and so on. And if the pond here is stagnant or depleted or choked with weeds, then illness may be present. On the other hand, if it is symbolically found to be full of flowers, the person may not have been infertile as they thought. And by knowing this, the flowers may open and the baby may come. Maybe the only problem is a blockage in the outflow of the lake, which could be cleared by acupuncture. Finally, there is a lake called the upper dantian, the third eye, associated with the energy of consciousness and spirit, Shen. The thoughts whizzing round the upper dantian lake are then the fish, and the channeling of water from the lower dantian to this upper dantian is known as the Kundalini experience, often symbolically represented as a fountain. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, The Complete Poems, Kubla Khan. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alph, the sacred river, ran through caverns, measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground, with walls and towers were girdled round, and there were gardens, bright with sinuous rills, where blossomed many an incense-bearing tree. And here were forests, ancient as the hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. 5 miles meandering with a mazy motion, through wood and dale the sacred river ran, then reached the caverns measureless to man, and sank in tumult to a lifeless ocean.